So we wanted to get up a little earlier this morning because we know that there could be some bad weather coming in on Wednesday, and because we have to do some big lake paddling, we wanted to get on the water a little earlier for day 2 to actually get some distance crushed. Yeah, we figured we started the trip off on the right foot, crushing some distance.
What's up, fellas? Hey, what's going on? Nice work out there. Yeah, good crossing. Nice day for lake paddling.
What lake are we on right now?
We are on Dyke Lake.
We're on Dyke Lake.
Dyke Lake.
Making some big water crossings right now.
Looks like we might have a little bit of a tailwind going through this little corridor. We got a storm brewing to our left, but looks like it's going to miss us.
I'm feeling like I've been in the boat for about 8 hours though.
Are you?
Oh yeah.
That's weird.
Feel about that way.
Yep, my ass is feeling that way.
Yeah, my ass and my hands. These new hot spots coming in.
Oh, blisters?
Not yet.
But just some
Yeah.
just some spots letting you know that they're feeling things.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be blisters. I'm gonna be very sore tomorrow.
So we've been crushing it so far today. I think we're, what do we say at this point? 33 or 34K?
34K.
34K on the day, and it's only 1:30 in the afternoon. So we're doing very well. We're ahead of schedule, setting us up well just in case we do get a windstorm tomorrow.
Holy shit, you weren't kidding, eh?
No. Time to pass around some granola. Get in there for a sample.
So it's getting a little later in the day, and we're doing the biggest crossing, which is about an 8-kilometer crossing as the crow flies. Luckily we have a tailwind, but there's a lot of islands over here, so we busted the GPS. And we had some waypoints that I put in before the trip, and we're just gonna follow that across. No need to mess around, you know?
No, sounds good.
It looks like the rain's holding off too.
Storm come in. Imminent destruction.
Could be a banger. Touching the whole sky, I wonder.
Alright, so we got hit by some rain. We got to shore just in time and got this fire going, and we're just taking a little bit of a break before we head on. We were starting to get a little worried about finding a campsite tonight because the shore is just completely lined with alders, and it was difficult to find an actual clearing. And just as we were evaluating some potential campsite options that could have worked but would have been pretty rough, we ended up stumbling upon a gold mine here, and I think we're going to be pretty comfortable tonight, which is going to be awesome. We crushed somewhere over 50 kilometers today. It was a really big day. So stoked to be on site, get some dinner in us, warm up by the fire, and yeah, another great night out here. A lot of drums just hanging around this site. This campsite is most likely used quite a bit in the winter when it's a little bit easier to access, but we're doubtful that many people have been here in the summertime.
Made up for whatever wind shit show tomorrow's gonna be, at least.
Amen to that.
Yeah, we're into like day 4 right now.
Yeah.
No, well, the day 3 milestone is on the other side of the Guys River, so 6 kilometers from here.
But we've gone more than 50. 18 times 3 is 54.
Doesn't make sense.
Just saying. Just saying.
The math just doesn't add up.
Just saying. I'm just saying. There's no water.
Our lentil dinner. What was it? No, coconut curry lentil? Doesn't get much better than this, boys and girls. Rain, bugs, but there's a nice fire.
So being the astute observers of nature as we are, we realize that these bugs, they go on shifts. In the morning you have the mosquitoes, and at around 10 o'clock they clock out and the black flies come out. And then for about a half an hour the horse flies come out and then they tag the black flies back in. And then back at 7 o'clock at night the mosquitoes start again. But their objective is to always have a full cloud around you, which is what they've been doing.
Consistent.
Consistent. It fit better yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just don't think that one's gonna fit in if this is sideways.
Maybe switch it up.
Maybe. We'll get it down.
We're just getting all the gear packed up here, and then we're going to be heading out shortly, starting our paddle. The battle against the winds.
Today we reached the Iron Arm, which is a 30-kilometer straight narrow section off Atikamekw Lake. With little shelter on either shore, this section puts us in a very vulnerable situation, and with wind expected to reach 50 kilometers an hour, a shift in wind direction may cause dangerous headwinds and inevitable delays.
So you're thinking if we time this, we might be timed right now.
Might be helpful. So if we, our timing's looking fairly good so far this morning. We know the wind's coming out of the southwest right now, and we know it's going to switch 90 degrees and come out of the northwest. And if we can get down around this corner here sooner than later, we should have a tailwind or a helping wind to carry us up the arm until it changes. That'd be great.
That would be a treat, for sure.
That would be amazing. It's exactly what we want.
Our boys here are currently making the final crossing that we just made. Big water out there and strong winds. What's that Mary J. Blige song that you can work it, put your back into it?
You can do it, put your back into it.
Yo, Mary J. Blige says you can do it, put your back into it. That was tough, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, waves got pretty big out there.
Yeah, they're hefty. Might as well have a rest for a second here, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Stretch the calves a little.
Yeah, I forgot to do my morning stretch this morning.
I thought about that as soon as I got in the boat. I was like, ooh. Lining these rapids, I don't think it was going to be too easy. We were just trying to get to the Iron Arm, and we ended up having a brutal portage. We thought we were going to have to punch through a forest in order to get to the river, and we ended up, like, last minute just found a ATV trail or a snowmobile trail that was obviously used in the winter, and it honestly saved us having to punch through the thickest forest to get back to the river. So what could have taken us most of the day today only ended up taking us like maybe 2-3 hours. And we found this cool wolf skull. on this portage.
What else do we see on this portage?
Oh, and Dave also had a run-in with a bear. As we brought all of our stuff to one end, and on our way back, we were just about to go grab the canoes, and there's a bear just coming to check out our canoe scenario. There's a chance that he was going to portage them for us, but we were doubtful of that, so Dave shooed him off, and he took off pretty quickly into the bush. And yeah, now we're gonna head on. I'm gonna leave this though for the gods, river gods.
Yeah, haven't been a whole lot of sap yet.
What do you got for us here?
Oh, meat and cheese.
Nice.
Stack them up. Stack them up, boy. Get your blocks.
I'm going with burritos. There you go.
Here it is.
It's full glory too.
Iron arm.
So today's a windy day, there's no doubt about it. We're on the Iron Arm here in Labrador, and the wind's picked up a ton today. We could see the swells slowly getting bigger and bigger and the waves getting bigger. And towards the end, we were going over huge rollers of just, the canoe goes up and down and just crashes on the other side. We were trying to ride them on 45 degrees, trying to keep water out of the boat. But basically just trying to find a good place to camp for the day. We know that there's a good chance of high winds this week, so like at any day we might be stuck here for any given time. So we wanted to find a place that we could hunker down in and be good for, you know, a couple days if we had to, and this is the spot that we found. So
Donut, yeah. Right, because the middle will be the hardest to get.
Right. We got time.
Christopher, we got time.
What are you making there?
Making some bannock for lunch tomorrow. Got a nifty little mix. And I learned from last year's. I reinforced everything on the corners and whatnot.
what happened last year?
Just really thin. All I had was like thin aluminum.
Okay.
And it just wasn't super durable. It survived, but could have been better.
Oh, I see. Look at that little oven.
Goes.
Put it that far back, eh?
Backwoods gauge is, you can hold your hand in front of it and count to 8, but no more. It gets too hot to hold in front of after 8.
Huh.
And you just kind of watch it.
So how long would that take approximately?
It's a pretty big thing. So maybe half hour.
Still quicker than I was thinking.
Yeah. So the nice thing about this is it uses flame. So if you're making bannock for lunch tomorrow, when you build your fire and it's too high to cook on, you do that. And then
once it dies down,
Once
you'd
it
have
dies down,
coals and you could
coals,
actually
yeah.
cook. That's a great idea.
Right. Yeah.
This thing's growing on me already. Not that it was ever not grown on me. I was open to the idea the whole time. I've just never used one.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. Alright boys, soup's on.
Yeah. Who's up?
Send it directly to PETA.
I was still like wide awake last night.
Just buzzing.
No, it's just like I couldn't go to sleep with all the light. I fell asleep fast once I was in the tent, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
With continued strong winds and whitecaps, today we are experiencing our first weather delays. To occupy our minds, we lounged around the smoldering fire and got a little more familiar with our gear.
It's another windy day that we've got out here. We've just been kind of like holding off at camp and hoping that this wind dies down a bit, but so far it's looked like it's died down a little bit, and we're anticipating it slowing down a little bit later on today, but right now this is still a little rough to be launching in. It looks kind of fine near the shore here and up the side, but we have to make a crossing at some point today, and there's pretty sizable white caps out there, so just not worth it if we're not truly in a rush.
We got some shoes drying here. Any bit drier you can get, you take it while you can. We're finally getting to eat the product of the bannock that Chris made last night. It's looking pretty legit, man.
Thanks.
And there's homemade beef jerky to go with it.
There it is.
Woo! What cut of meat do you use?
Round roast.
Round
generally.
roast.
Chop round if you can get it.
And do you just cut it yourself?
Yep. I like my jerky thicker, so I cut it about 1 centimeter in width. Marinate overnight in malt vinegar and dip in spices and dehydrate that.
Yeah, it looks well spiced.
Most of it falls off on the way, but some stays on.
Looks filling though.
Yeah, it'll fill your gut.
All we need is 1,000 cows.
Yeah.
Do you cook it first?
Nope. You don't have to cook it.
What type of cheese is this?
Cheddar. Vermont cheddar.
Mountain cheddar?
Vermont. Could have got that New England taste in there.
Yeah, I actually tasted that.
You can taste a little bit of New England in there. So we did a little hike up from our campsite, which is down at the bottom by the shore over there. There's a big hill behind it, so we thought we'd go for a hike. And it offered this beautiful view of the Iron Arm.
Big island, that little narrow, that looks...
Yeah, that crossing up there does not look fun. Yeah, it's almost like we go up to these two islands and cross there.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's really narrow there.
It's really narrow there, and there are a couple good deep campsites up there.
We're all set to go here. The spray deck's all rigged up. Cut down on how much wind we take on and how much water splashes over the top.
It doesn't matter. I can untie that and move it up if you want.
So we spent most of the day waiting in camp. The wind hasn't really died down too much, but it's about 5 o'clock at night and we have about 10 kilometers to travel in headwinds up the Iron Arm. And then we might have some dinner and then we might do the final crossing, or we really gotta judge the wind when we get there. But the spray decks are on, ready to take off. It's been one of those long waiting days, but that's part of traveling in the north.
Yeah, she's laying down, bud.
As we paddled up the Iron Arm, we learned our first valuable lesson. Go when the going is good, regardless of the time. Out here, weather dictates everything.
There's nice grass in here.
This is true.
Truck up in there. We go check out what the backside of this little point here says.
Might as well while we're waiting for the dudes.
Now we're going downstream though.
Woo! Just getting a little bit more enjoyment out of the Iron Arm.
And we're officially out of it. We have rounded it. We're done.
We're out of the arm.
They're still in the arm. We are not in the arm.
We left our friends in the arm. In the Iron Arm.
We can make anything work. There's a bit of a cove in here. Why don't we just tuck her in there?
Sounds good.
Oh, yes, bud.
Is she looking like a spot? All right, so we just arrived at our campsite for night number 3. We just did a pretty intense paddle into the headwinds here. Yeah, the Iron Arm. She's something else. The sun was so bright, so I was just rocking it like this. Dave has just gone to inspect the site right here, and I think I heard him say something along the lines of, "Ah, yes, bye." So I think we might actually have a campsite here, so that'd be kind of neat. Is there olives in here? Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, man. There is.
Tacos. Everything you'd ever put into tacos is in here.
Oh. You said Tostitos?
Red peppers, green peppers, yellow peppers, orange.